He's perfect still.
He is.
Just
Just
has a
about to say that.
disability.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
there's visual to everybody.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of What's the Business? I'm your host, Angela Smith.
And I'm Tavia.
And today we have two beautiful guests with us. We have Mr. Seti Said.
Yes.
And we also have Orsana Lee, who we like to just call Twinkle, because she just got a shine, honey. That's Twinkle. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Please, please, please like us on Facebook. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, What's the Business? That's BIZNESS. And if you'd like to drop us a line, we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at what'sthebusiness16.com, at yahoo.com. What's the Business? BIZNESS 16 at yahoo.com. So we've got some really, really interesting things going on in everybody's lives. Everybody got some things going on in their lives. So let's start with you, Mr. Cedric Marshall, also known as Seti Said.
All right.
Enough Said Productions.
Yeah.
What is going on? What is going on?
I mean, at this moment, life is good, you know. I mean, Enough Said Productions. Well, actually, Enough Said Productions is a thing of the past. That's the production company I used to network under.
Okay,
so now everything that I do now is under Silly Rabbit Productions.
Love it.
So, you know, I'm kind of one of those people that really understand that, you know, I had to crawl before I walk, because Enough Said Productions was that stepping stone. So now I'm at a, you know, I'm at a better place, you know.
Come on now.
Yeah, I'm at
You
a
done
bigger,
moved on up.
I'm in a better place, a bigger place. You know, so it's all good though. But I mean, as far as that, like, you know, I'm known for around the town for doing my own comedy shows.
Absolutely.
Writing stage plays.
Right.
You know, things like that. You know, I'm also a stand-up comedian as well. You know, here in the city of Baton Rouge, and oftentimes, you know, people ask me, you know, like, what am I up to nowadays? And I tell them, you know, and they's like, because I don't involve myself in stand-up too much, so now I'm kind of behind the scenes where I'm putting shows on.
Right.
So I feel like in a hurting world, a city like this, we need laughter. Plus everything we done went through, you know, especially with the flood, man. I'm telling you. And I got a comedy show coming up April 1st.
April 1st.
April 1st at the Belle of Baton Rouge. Silly Rabbit Productions. I got a great lineup. My man out of Atlanta, Ronnie Jordan.
Funny guy.
Carissa Cropper, Blowfish, my man out of New Orleans.
She is crazy.
So I mean, it's gonna be a great show. You know, for anybody that's looking to come out and enjoy a laugh with us, man, y'all come out, because it's gonna be a great night. You know?
Right.
So,
and look, you always sell out.
Every show.
So you guys
show.
need to get your tickets immediately,
Every show.
because he sells out. I got my tickets already. Me and my boo thing gonna be there.
That's right.
We're gonna be there. We're gonna be in the house. They're always good. I've never been to a show that was bad. Production is fabulous, A1, top notch. So I can't wait.
It's gonna be a great event. VIP tickets are actually sold out, so
Lord,
you know. But that's every show. That's every show. That's every show. The church ain't gonna be able to get VIP, but the church can definitely sit general admission.
Well, you know, you can still make it.
And we gonna march in too.
You can still make it, man. It's gonna be a great night, man. You can still make it. So.
Good. Well, we're gonna put the link down there to be able to purchase the tickets.
Yes, the link is www.sillyrabbitproductions.eventbrite.com. And you can go to that link, purchase tickets, and you'll see on the site where it say VIP tickets are sold out, early birds are sold out. Only tickets we have available are general admission, and those are very limited as well. Like Angie said, tickets are selling fast. Every show sells out, and you know,
get
there, get your tickets, man, and come out and kick it with us. You know, April 1st.
Awesome. April 1st. Be there, be square. I don't think people say that anymore.
I don't think.
Well, you can say it. You can say it.
Be there or be square.
Do like the church say. Don't meet me there. Beat me there.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate that. Can't wait to see your show. Now, we got Orsana Smith Lee on this side. Put that Lee in there. We saw her, Mr. Rodney. She got a husband.
Yes, she is.
His name is Mr. Rodney Lee. So we want to talk to you, and this is really something that's very, very interesting to me. I've heard of so many different issues with children. And so we've heard of autism and, you know, things of that nature. But her son is developmental delayed. which is something very, very new to me. I've never heard it before until she started talking about it. So I want to give her an opportunity to kind of just talk about what's going on with her son, what it is, and then there's some other things that she has going on that I would love for you guys to know about. So let's talk about that, Twinkle. What's the business?
Well, our business is Coily Charities. It was founded last year. We had Coy tested. We realized he was having some developmental delay. We didn't know what was going on with him. It was like the light had went off when he made 3 years old. And we took him to go get tested per his PCP. And when he was tested, they tested him 1.5 years delay in speech and language.
Wow.
He was tested for autism. They stated that he's not autistic, but he's being retested for autism coming up in May, because he still has a lot of those characteristics, which we know autism is a wide spectrum. You know,
Absolutely.
you have functional and dysfunctional autistic children. We developed Coily Charities because we wanted parents to be aware of how important it is for having their children early testing. That is like number one thing. You don't want to wait until your child is 7, 8 years old to have them tested.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, as a parent, you know, and you can sense being around that child every day when something is just not right.
You know, and I want to stop there and say this because I found I was really moved with the fact that you saw something going on with your son and you made the decision to get him tested. Because so many times in the African American community, and I can say this because I am an African American woman, for all of those that did not notice, and you know, a lot of times we'll know, or we'll see that there's something going on with our kids, and instead of us getting them some help to figure out what it is that is the issue, we instead want to say, oh, that boy gonna be fine, or that girl gonna be, ain't nothing wrong with her. She just, you know, she just don't want to do nothing. They'll grow out of it. Correct.
Yeah.
So I applaud you for taking out the time and not being afraid to say, I'm going to do something to assist my son so that he doesn't think he's dumb. You know, a lot of times I think kids think they're dumb when they can't function like the vast majority of people. So now with this Coily charity, I want to say that you've got some things going on, and you've got a GoFundMe account maybe that
we do have a GoFundMe account. You can find it on our website, www.coilycharities.org, and it's spelled Koilee charities.org. And on that website, you're able to, I mean, we need donations. Under Coily Charities, we're opening a center called the Hope Center. And the reason we decided it to be the Hope Center is because as a parent going through, I needed some hope that my child was going to get the education that he needed to be productive. Yeah. And that's the entire goal for the Hope Center. We also want to integrate these children because we know the importance of them being with other children that's not on the spectrum, because we want them to also mimic what they're doing. You know, usually when a child see another child crawling, what they'll do, they'll crawl like that child. So we don't want them to be shunned away. We don't want them, you know, I have Coy knows that he's different, but he doesn't know that he's different, if that makes sense. You know, I tell him, you're just like any other kid. You know, if he says he wants to try something, he's a little daredevil like me. So if he says he wants to try something, I don't stop him. I let him, you know, I let him do things. But at the same time, I tell him, Coy, you know, and he'll tell you, if you tell him he can't do something, he'll tell you, I can do it all through Christ. That's his motto. So we want to
That'll take you out when they put you under. We need a sheet.
We want to instill that same thing in other children. We want to give the children, not just the children hope, but the parents hope as well.
Right. I love that. That's awesome. So thank you both for joining us. Yes. Also thank Twinkle, because honey, we on location, baby. We at Studio 419 in Cortana Mall. Honey, she multi-talented. The girl do hair and whatnot. If you need your locks, yes, boo. If you need your locks did, she can do your locks. Her husband cuts hair. If you need your hair trimmed, you need a good line. Her husband can hook you up. And they work, honey. So thank you. Thank you for hosting us. We really appreciate it. So, what's the business today? What are we going to talk about? So many of you have come to me. You've inboxed me. I love it. Thank you. You've had questions about a lot of issues. So today we're not going to talk about anything that's trending, but what we are going to talk about is what's going on in the church today. My Lord.
My.
What's going on in the church today? Now, I read this study that said studies have shown that most people currently attend worship services far less frequently than they did 2 years ago. So, for example, if someone went to 4 church services in a month, they're now going maybe 3. If they went 2 church services in a month, they're now only going 1. And those people who may have gone off and on rarely ever go to church. What do you think that is? Why do y'all think that's happening?
Maybe the question is, what's not going on in the church?
Well, now.
Because a lot of things, churches nowadays, everybody wants to be mega.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be trendy. But I believe the church as a whole, not just my church or your church, but the church, us, the body, I think we're losing effectiveness because we're focusing on the wrong thing.
That's interesting to me.
So,
and I think I can concur with that. I am a frequent churchgoer, and I think a lot of it really just has to do with my upbringing, and not necessarily with the fact of I am going for some other reason. Because I have learned and found in my walk that being inside of the church is not the only place that God is. And for so long in my life, you know, I was like, oh, I got to be at church. I mean, literally, I probably was at church out of a 7-day week, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Maybe even 6, depending. If I went to the movies, I went to the movies with the church group.
Yeah.
If I went skating, I went with the church group. Everything was with the church group. And so they're saying that a lot of people, what they're doing now is they're investing time into their children. So they're not going to church because they have soccer games on Sundays. Or, you know, they're going to baseball games. So they're expending that time with their family as opposed to, you know, that kind of thing.
I can concur to that because actually the Bible, well, not the Bible, but how it's supposed to be is God, the family, and then the church.
Right, absolutely.
So I think why it's a slack there is because a lot of church, as far as my church, you know, you can watch it on you know, the website. You can watch it live. You know, so they've made it convenient. You know, so if you have to go to a soccer game, you don't actually have to be in the actual building. Of course, you know, the Bible says that you're supposed to, you know, be amongst other believers.
Right,
and that's good.
Forsake not yourself.
Right, you know, so that's good, you know, when you need to be uplifted or encouraged. But, you know, in these days and times, you know, you see somebody today and they're gone tomorrow. You want to spend more time with your family. And I don't know if it's right or wrong to watch, you know, church on TV or not, but for this generation, for us, it has changed.
Absolutely.
You know, when we were growing up, you had to go. There was no options.
Right.
You know, but now it's like, okay, is it enough for me to just watch it on TV and still be safe?
Well, now, what do you guys think about, and this is kind of trending, Pastor Juanita Bynum, if you're familiar with her. Well, Pastor Juanita Bynum was on, and she was like on this rant, and she started talking about how she doesn't understand how these praise and worship leaders are coming to church, and you're not wearing stockings, and you getting up and leading worship with your legs greased, with no pantyhose on, and you're wearing thongs and not panties, and
turning into a mother of the church.
And so it's like, it's a big deal where people are like, okay, you know, we have so much respect for Pastor Bynum. What is this about? Now, me personally, honey, I love worship.
And I love my legs to be greased.
And I grease my legs. I don't wear no pantyhose.
The last time I wore hosiery to church.
Yeah, there ain't no hoseries to church. We done stopped wearing the hoseries. And then she said, and she goes on to say that you know, you wearing these thongs to church so the deacons can raise up your dress. And she said, I don't know if y'all excited about buying these fake titties. Yes, that's what she said. Oh, I heard her.
Yeah, she just saying what they say. That's all.
Yeah, she's saying what they say.
You just saying what they say. Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all been enjoying that y'all got these fake titties. Y'all want to have y'all cleavage out. Now, I will say, I think there's a certain way for you to dress when you go to church. But does God really care? Like if you walk in church with the hat on and people say, you should take your hat off because it's disrespectful. I mean, really? Does God really care?
I don't think so.
I don't think he cares about that. But because it's, you know, I'm the same way, and I think at the end of the day, it's all about perception. You know, I think if you do come to church, it should be a certain way you dress.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you should come in there in the way that you would go if you're going out on a Saturday night with your girl.
I'm with that.
It's all about perception to me, and I just think that.
But at the same time, somebody that's not saved,
Right.
and this is where we mess up as the church and Christians. Somebody that's not saved, that hasn't really learned, that hasn't really come to the full knowing of how to carry themselves. We are supposed to be the picture
example.
or the example of what they need.
Right.
So that person, if they come in, we don't want to shun them. That's
Right.
why that's why they go back to the world, because
Well,
the
you
world
got to have
embraces.
love.
Right.
So
gotta
we
have
have
it,
to,
right.
you know, we have to look past what they're wearing, even if it's club wear. Sometimes we just have to look past it. Once they get on and once they feel that real love and they feel that it's genuine, they'll change.
And see,
Because their perception will change.
wow.
Right.
So by her saying that in the Bible, Jesus specifically says, "In love and kindness have I drawn thee." Listen, y'all. Church, getting to church, that's just the dwelling place to
Right.
develop and begin the relationship. It's about relationship.
That's good.
Not about critiquing what you have on.
Right,
If
right.
it was about what we wore daily,
We wouldn't make it.
We would not.
I wouldn't make it.
Church,
None of us
please
will make it.
stop condemning people to hell.
Amen.
Because
You know, because of what they wear or what they look like on the inside, because God is going to judge us by what's in our heart.
That's right.
You know, oh
That's
Lord,
right.
y'all done got
Yeah,
it.
and not to get it, you know, like I know I said, you know, it's all about perception.
Right.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
when I was younger and we would go on job interviews. If I was going on a job interview, my mother would tell me, you know, if I had on a certain pair of attire, she would say, well, no, that's not suitable
Absolutely.
for that job interview.
Absolutely.
See, I didn't know, but I had someone to kind of show me and
Right,
tell me, like,
right,
this is how
right.
you dress for a job interview.
Right.
But she ain't
So I
beat you
guess
over
it-
the head and
Well,
be
my
like,
mama
you'll
did.
never get
Yeah,
high.
my mama did. Yeah, she did.
I did. That's what I
My
do to
mama-
my children.
Yeah,
You
my
just
mama
don't
did,
want no
yeah.
job.
My mama
Baby,
did.
you don't want no job.
Yeah,
Go
so,
looking
yeah.
like that.
Mama beat me. So, yeah.
I do agree. I think it is perception. I think that if you wear something that is not pleasing, and when I say let me change that. If you wear something and it is visibly a problem that everything you got is showing, that's a problem.
But they may not know. This
And when I
generation
say
is totally different.
when
They
I
are
say
so
that, I'm talking
blinded.
about praise leaders, like people who
Okay,
do know.
we're not talking about.
But I'm not
visitors.
talking about visitors, because I really
Yeah.
believe that you should come as you are, because Jesus never turned anyone away, right? So he was he dealt with the Pharisees and the Sadducees and all of these people who were just quote unquote just religious only, and he also sat there and he talked to the woman who was a whore,
Yeah.
and and was sleeping with everybody, and they're like, oh Jesus, why you hanging out with her though? What you doing with her? And Jesus is like, man, this is what I come to do. This is what I do.
That's what I do.
So I think that Sister Bynum, I love you, girl. I love you.
You wrong.
But you wrong for that. You wrong for that.
Did she say God has given her
I
that?
say that, and I ain't gonna lie on God, and I don't think she lied on God.
She wouldn't want
That
to.
was her own perception.
Yeah,
I
I think it
didn't
was
see
her
it.
own perception.
Okay.
It was her own perception.
Well, thank God it was her own perception,
yeah,
because
yeah.
people are entitled to their own opinion.
Everybody's got an opinion.
right.
It's just
She's
like a
gonna have to
butthole.
answer to
Everybody
that
got
opinion.
one.
Even when it's wrong.
My Lord. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all so much for joining us. Again, I want to please ask you to go to the bottom of that webpage of our page that you see there. Click on that link, and you can do two things. One, you can get you a ticket while they still lasting, honey.
Come
Right.
through,
You
church.
wanna-
Come through.
You want the church to come through for
Yes.
the mail.
That's right.
Come through,
Yes.
church. I got
Come
my
through.
tickets. Me and my boo, we gonna be there. Get your tickets. Click on that link. The other link that you can click on is the link here for Coy Lee Charities. And we love for you to please drop something in that Fund Me account, because this is I think very near and dear, and it's necessary. It's a serious issue that I'm so glad that you are bringing light to.
That's awesome.
And we love for you to like us on Facebook. Click on us. We love you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.